I know there's something different about Wuthering Waves fusion characters, but I can't prove it yet. Look at these fusion designs. Kuro makes me sick. But guess what? I don't want to get better. Is it just me? Or is fusion the greatest attribute in the game? Not only are fusion teams flexible beyond belief, it's filled with banger characters and has a unique mechanic not found within any other attribute. Quick swap. I swear fusion characters are impossible to power creep. How is Aemeath better than Changli in every possible way, and yet somehow you can use them together and get good results? Fusion just might be the best attribute, and because Aemeath is a fusion character, she's going to be beyond broken. As long as you're fine developing carpal tunnel in order to execute the necessary amount of quick swaps, you can play any combination of fusion teams that you want. Aemeath, Changli, Lupa. Aemeath, Changli, Mornye. Mornye, Lupa, Galbrena. Galbrena, Brant, Lupa. Lupa, Brant, Changli. Changli, Mornye, Lupa. Lupa, Changli, Encore. Encore, Lupa, Mornye. Jesus Christ, my brain hurts. You catch all that? Let's take a moment to appreciate every fusion character. Chissa. To this day, I still see videos of Chissa mains defeating holograms, hitless, speed 1 world record with one hand tied behind my back. They are in active competition with the lunacy of Donjin mains. She has somehow created a loyal fan base, and I totally understand why. In the beginning of the game, I liked Chissa so much that I upgraded her over Encore. Was it the right decision? No, but it was the most fun I ever had. Outranging enemies is so cool. Mortify. This man was single-handedly carrying heavy attack damage dealers from the beginning of the game and never got any respect for it. Everyone was glazing Sanhua like there was no tomorrow and downplaying this man's efficacy. Personally, I think it's because he's a male. If the exact same kit was on a female character, she would have been legendary. Justice for Mortify. Brant. Wuthering Waves males don't get a lot of love. We know this. But Brant is legitimately broken. Before the release of Chissa, Brant was the only character in the game that provided a shield to each individual member of your team. Genshin's shield, on the other hand, was shared across the whole team and a DPS loss to implement. It was cheeks. Shields in Wuthering Waves are really rare and super incredible. There are some fights where it's strictly better because either the enemy one-taps you, or you can't dodge anyway because Changli's air dodge mechanics are dog water, or dodging will ruin your DPS cycle. Brant is actually him. Encore. Despite being a standard banner DPS, with the right team, she still slaps in the endgame. Encore, Lupa, and Shorekeeper is a remarkable team. What's so shocking about this is that for some characters, no matter how much investment you put into them, they cannot perform. Ling-yang. I remember one of the first videos I ever watched on Wuthering Waves was a quick swap tutorial by I Win to Lose featuring Encore, Calculator, and Verena. The game was still really new, and everyone's mind was blown when he was legitimately playing 3 characters on the field at the same time. He used Encore's skill, switched to Calculate, and went back to Encore during the same animation to get her double skill cast. This is child's play today, 2 years later, but I still remember the impact that video had on me. Mornye, my professor can't be this cute. It's illegal. Imagine you walk into class, and your professor hands you back the test you took the other day. You bombed it, got an F. Then Mornye leans over and says into your ear, "You've been a naughty boy." You melt in your seat. She starts walking away, and you witness the greatest technological achievement of Laharoi. Simply remarkable. Okay, fanfiction aside, Mornye's designs and animations are awesome. She actually breaks the cycle of every Wu female being naked, and it's a refreshing change of pace. I actually had to go through great effort to find that one cheeked up shot. Lupa, she is fusion. All of the great things I've said about other characters fall flat without the existence of Lupa. I now understand why she was the main character of Septimont. Single-handedly carrying an entire attribute on your back must be exhausting. And yet we know her back must be strong because of how much package she has to carry around on a daily basis. It's nice to see that Lupa's extensive relevance as Cristofaro's main character in the Septimont story was actually well-founded. Her potential keeps growing every patch. Absolutely bonkers. Changli. What is there to say about this character that hasn't already been said? Changli was absolutely beloved when first introduced in version 1.1. What is it exactly that we all love about her? Putting her impeccable design aside, Is it her demeanor, her patience, her elegance? I couldn't tell you, but I do have an unreasonable amount of appreciation for this character. I need to seek help. I've been thinking about getting Mornye S1 just for her. I'm mentally ill, Galbrena. I bark at my screen every time she walks across. Does that make me mentally ill or cultured beyond belief? Galbrena is probably the most epic character in Wuthering Waves besides Lord Arbiter himself. The 2.7 story did her an immense justice and painted her in an awesome light. There's a good reason why Galbrena has one of the most watched trailers in Wuthering Waves history. Not only does she not endlessly glaze the rover for breathing, but she also has her own objectives that are actually antagonistic to us. A rare character indeed. Whether or not we helped Galbrena, she was going to finish the mission without the rover. She will legitimately progress the story without you. She felt like a well-written 3D character for sure. It's sad we'll likely never see her again, but her being a lone wolf is canonical, and she nailed her brief appearance. Also, need I say more? Aemeath. She will be the pinnacle of fusion. We already know that Aemeath will likely have 3 teams available to her: Mono Fusion, Toon Rupture, and Negative Status. Not only will she work in typical hypercarry teams with Mornye and Lene, she will also slap in Mono Fusion teams as a quick swap queen. As I said before, many of Aemeath's forte animations are quite long, and the only way to justify them is to either buff her a lot with Lene or break your keyboard with Changli, Lupa, or Mornye. Alternatively, you can play Negative Status Aemeath because it destroys AoE scenarios with Chissa. This is an important caveat because Toon Rupture is cheeks in AoE situations since the enemy dies before the off-tune bar fills up at all. This is not a problem with Negative Status, because Aemeath passively applies Fusion Burst to every enemy that has 0 stacks, so it's just way better in AoE situations. A person can verifiably say Wuthering Waves has a few different archetypes of gameplay: Hypercarry, Toon Break, Negative Status, Echo Skill Damage, and last but not least, Fusion. It is its own form of gameplay. Now, it's up for debate whether any of these archetypes I just mentioned are actually different forms of gameplay, but that's not the point of the video. The point is that Fusion is awesome because the determining factor for team compositions isn't the game, but rather your skill level. The Changli Aemeath Lupa team is particularly interesting because Changli amplifies liberation damage by a whopping 45%, and Aemeath does liberation damage, a perfect match. Aemeath has a few long rotations in her kit, which would be perfect for Changli to quick swap into to save time. Keep in mind that you will break your hands in order to make this work. This is not for the faint of heart. No other attribute works this way. Spectro and Havoc characters all have their designated teams, and Electro and Glacio characters are found on the side of the road, dead in a ditch. Whenever Kuro releases the next Glacio character, there is no chance she's going to work with Carlotta. More than likely, it will just be straight power creep, where you finally bench and replace your Carlotta for a new and better option. Carlotta has been single-handedly carrying all of Glacio by herself, and her shoulders need some rest. The fusion attribute as a whole, on the other hand, continues to gain value with each additional fusion character that is released, rather than lose value through power creep. Each new fusion character doesn't just replace the prior. Let's consider Changli. She's unbelievably resilient in the face of power creep. Do you think Kuro knew when they were making Changli, they were making such a big-chested, round... Sorry, this is a serious video, I almost lost myself there. As I was saying, Changli is the most complicated character in the game. She is so tough to play optimally that on a tier list, if you play her normally, she's a bottom feeder. And if you play her like an expert, she jumps up 2 tiers into Apex. That's ridiculous. I've been experimenting myself with the Changli Mornye Lupa team in Tower Adversity because I don't have Brant, and I was struggling to clear it with 3 stars. Since this team doesn't have any shielding or Toon Rupture damage, they can't remove the enemy buffs. I thought to myself, that's it. Changli has been power crept, it's over. Then I came across some Changli videos by happenstance, learned some new rotations, tried again, and crushed it. This resilience is remarkable. Just because Aemeath is stronger than Changli in every conceivable way, that doesn't mean Aemeath is actually power creeping Changli, because you can use them together through quick swap. It's so bizarre and very awesome. Fusion is the only attribute that works well within itself. It's slowly creating an ecosystem that can survive on its own without the help of Shorekeeper, who's the greatest character in the game, by the way. Hot take, is Lupa actually the greatest character in the game? I don't know, something to think about. Fusion is the best attribute because it rewards player skill. It's the only attribute in the game where power isn't dictated by rigid team templates or mandatory pairings, but by how well you can pilot the team. If you're willing to learn rotations, abuse quick swap windows, or obliterate your hands in the process, Fusion rewards you in a way no other attribute can. Changli didn't survive power creep because she has inflated stats. God forbid she has an inflated chest and deflated stats. She survived because Fusion lets skill scale infinitely. And that's why characters don't really replace each other here. They stack, they synergize, or coexist. That's also why Aemeath isn't just the next broken DPS. She's the inevitable evolution of Fusion's ecosystem. Whether your player has hyper carry, a quick swap monster, a mono fusion menace, or an AoE war crime machine, she slots in naturally. Not because the game tells you to, but because Fusion allows it. Every attribute in Wuthering Waves feels like it's waiting for the next character to replace the old one. Glacio, Carlotta's gonna be replaced by the next one. Augusta is gonna be replaced by the next Electro. Fusion, on the other hand, feels like it's building something. A self-sustaining ecosystem where new characters don't end each other's careers, but expand old possibilities. So yeah, Fusion is nuts, completely crazy. And if this is a direction Kuro keeps taking it, then Aemeath isn't just the peak of Fusion. She's proof that Fusion was always playing a different game in the first place.